Good day to you. It's SpeedGaming Prime. Yeah. Um, Welcome. SMZ3 tournament, Super Metroid, Zelda 3, Link to the Past, depending where you're from. And it's a tournament. We got the 774 boots, the 7 crystals to beat Ganon and get into Ganon's tower in order to beat Ganon. And all 4 bosses in Metroid. Not the mini bosses, although we probably have to do them anyway. Anywho, I'm Scoop. Here's Nito. Welcome.
Hello.
And Chester Zook's doing setup and tracking for us, as is quite common. We appreciate that. So, it is, as I'm informed, the last game of the round of 16 here completely. This is Vinter and Eykir, and they are tied up 1-1 here. So, you win, you move on.
They will get to face Gamachu in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, that's good luck. Sync going on here and of epic proportions pretty soon. Let Vinter, temporarily catch up. They're in the same place, but yeah, very closely matched in skill, I would say. So
This is the 8th seed versus the 7th seed.
seeding skill, I saw 2 regular crystals and something other than that on desert, but my eyes were going one way on that. So the boots start here, and where we come out from starting the game, this is of course the thing we start to do now with the Saha's Closet. Get a check on that green pen if you don't already have it and you want it. And 3 for free. Today is just a little bit of an advance for the bottle vendor, basically. The Vinter going to the house here. Eykir is going to continue through to Eastern. This is always something you got to think about. And of course, like at start, I was just talking about, we're going to have to think about it sooner than we might like sometimes. But it is a boots-friendly dungeon, and you don't really need weapons, so it does.
Eykir doing the same play he did last race. Going
Yeah,
straight to Eastern. It really paid off last time. He found bow and flippers there. And Uncle has the Moon Pearl.
yeah, I've seen Eykir do this a lot. He's kind of made a pattern out of it, and it can really save you some grief. I mean, it might be nothing, but it's early. But if it is, that saves you trouble later whenever you have far more options.
We found our first pack of supers. At Bonk Rocks, which I think is considered Sphere 1 if you have a boot start. Logical.
Yeah, there was back and forth. I mean, the only reason why is because there are a couple things that are guaranteed in that first sphere, and I think Supers is one of them, but
Yeah.
not sure if that's considered part of it or not. I don't know. It's been a long time since we've, had to go to something like Green Brain with everything but Supers.
X-Ray was at Lumberjack Ledge. So I don't think we'll be grabbing that.
The microwave repair shop is out of business. Glove, though, you can see it. I guess we'll clear Kakariko while we're here, and then go back to the back of Escape before we forget about that.
I might go straight to the back of his head.
Yeah, there he goes. Yeah, good call. It's not bad, and you can come up to Kakarika from the bottom. And I think it evens out because you have to then climb out of that tree hole and do all that, so... You can get bombs easily enough with the boots. There's a 50-50 rock outside, but this way you can get stuff done, pick up things that we really need, like all that.
Well, you have the Super Metroid kit now with Morph and Gravity Suit. And yesterday, last race, going straight to Super Metroid actually paid off for Vinter eventually.
Yeah, so it won't do the south road like I thought might happen here. It's just sometimes a little bit quicker. Is there, you know, I was going to say there's a 50-50 bomb rock.
Yeah.
But they're both
But
rocks, I guess.
If you bonk the rocks, you get a 1 bomb guaranteed.
Yeah, that 50 was that was the other thing I was talking about in that screen, that pickup rock with the 8 on it. I don't know what 8 means. I know it's not an 8, but it always has been for me. Eykir, though, on the other hand, buying his commerce, yay, and is going to do the south stuff now. At least some of it.
Morph bombs.
You know, we keep talking about these bombs.
And more power bombs, so yeah. And the flute in a very convenient location.
It's nice when it's here if you don't skip it for a while, like I like to do.
I've been told he tends to skip Kakariko for as long as he can.
Yeah, I started doing that, and sometimes I wonder why, but we're running around trying to figure out where things are starting. Yeah, we're getting asked about Moon Pearl. Okay, yeah, back. Oh, it was? Really? It was...
Yeah.
So, both balls? Is that what was back there?
Oh wait, what was Moon Pearl?
There's Morph and Gravity. And I kind of, I guess...
Or was it Super Pack, I think. Yeah, Morph was at, Moon Pearl was at Uncle.
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, cool. Yeah, Dimensive. One of those round things. We need them both. That's all we really want. So, I guess we're in go mode? Nah. I was doing a multi-world here earlier, and it was just... That's how it is for like an hour and a half. Okay, make sure everybody has their marbles. Like, here's Link Sprite. Question in chat. Want to say Sailor or something? Anybody?
Not sure.
Neptune, maybe?
Phaser.
Mercury. There it is.
Eykir sets up the water walk. So be careful, because the crabs can kill him in one hit. He's out of danger now.
That's like blue. Neptune's like a blue planet, I think. But, yeah.
More power bombs. That's 15, I think.
Yeah. I like the hesitation. It's like, well, do we really need them? Yeah, you might as well. It makes sense now. But...
Might be thinking this could be a very go mode seed. Oh, doesn't want the spring ball. Okay, well, it's never progression in normal logic, but it could be handy for sequence breaking.
Yeah, I think, yeah, you're right. Primary use is the cool part, because that was basically negated with the regular morph bomb, so it's a much easier choice to skip that then, I think, whenever you have those.
Yeah, he might have grabbed it if he had blindly went there, but it's not worth the detour.
I think I know the Power Rangers names. We're still talking about stuff in chat. I think I know their names. Yeah.
Red Cane is again on Spectacle Rock.
Again, what'd I miss?
Last race was there too. Same
For
spot.
them or just on here?
Oh, for the last game 2 yesterday when they
Oh,
had
okay.
Red Cane on Spectacle Rock.
On here, okay.
Vinter's not saying no to free ammo, even if it's a bit of a detour to grab.
If those are regulars, I skip it, but not supers. Sorry.
So Eykir did grab the spring ball. Might have skipped it, as you said, if he had the morph balls already. So I guess, why do we want more power bombs? Well, we could never find various suit. And if Ridley is required, and that's the last thing we need, you can't just hell run to Ridley. And you need as much ammo as you can for the crystal flashes to keep yourself healed.
I think it's funny because you think about that now is like premature, but it isn't. You picking up stuff all the time, especially here in Super Metroid when you get to see it first. So yeah, even I took this policy up of just if it's unless it's like missiles and really out of the way. If it's supers, E-tanks, power bombs, and you don't have a vary yet, you pick them up. So.
Might be a bit biased because my very first seed ever, Varia, was in left side swamp, pendant swamp too.
Oh, cool.
And the only thing in Norfair was, of course, having to defeat Ridley. So if I had known how to hell run Ridley at the time, might have saved like half an hour or something. And usually following logic is the best policy, but if you the last item you need, you know you don't hard need it, you can just use a glitch or a shortcut or, you know, hell running. Then make sure you're prepared to do that.
Yeah, in a race for sure. The last item, you know, is we'll call it a yellow check because a tracker would have it, but something like if the last item gives you stuff like that and you don't do it, you're probably losing. Like if you go to look for it. Right up, right down.
Yep.
Kraid playing the part of Fantoon for the day.
Just like it. Wow. Oh, hammer behind Kraid. That's pretty good. Then we have Dark World access just for that. Like 13 minutes in. So now Vinter has the embarrassment of choice. Like, what do I do? Where do I go? Because I can do pretty much all of Super Metroid except Norfair, logically, at the back of Meridia. Or I have the Dark World open. It will come down to what Eykir decides to do. If he ever gets there early.
For Vinter's part, I was going to say, here's what I'd be doing, looking at pendants, and we don't have much information, but we do already have 2 of them, so I say this because you go to Dark World without knowing, you might be headed right for a pendant, but in this case, I think you can Like just Blaze Thieves Town, maybe as an option. I mean, it's a hammer. Not actually sure. We don't have a lot of health, but
Does have the gravity suit, so he takes a quarter damage from enemies, but hazards will deal a lot. Full damage to him.
it's one of those nice things there about the morph bombs. Just go through the intended way here to get to the spacer check, and no playing around with the crumble blocks and all that business.
It looks like Vinter checked Phaser just so he wouldn't orphan that check because he's going to Meridia or Norfair, or I don't know. Where are you going, Vinter?
Yeah, back down. It makes yeah. It's that's one's a funny call in this loadout or a loadout similar to it because of the several screens you got to add like I think 4 doors to check that, but you might end up in a situation where it's hard to route that in later. So.
And Eykir gets his Super Metroid kit. Nothing on Desert Ledge.
Is that Ice Palace for that last one?
So all SM bosses are required.
No, that was a token. Yeah, I'm not afraid of that because I see red. That's the first thing I see, but...
It was Ridley, I think.
Yeah, it was Ridley. I was just wondering where the last pendant was because I didn't catch it.
Flippers. Bow.
Oh, boy.
They're in Hype Cave instead of Eastern. And Quake. Wow. We had a Hype Cave.
You know, I guess Hype Cave is what you do. If you're talking about your decision of where to start in Dark World, well, if you don't know, go to Hype Cave, I guess.
Just you. It's a safe default strategy of.
It is.
Well, I'm not. I have a lot of options. I'm not too sure where to go, so I'll just do the checks that give me the most checks per minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then you might get a decision maker in there, like that bow ends up being one. At some point, it'll be one. I guess the thinking here is that Meridia is going to get a lot closer, or at least Dragon, from here. It's pretty crazy, though, huh? 17 minutes.
And with no energy tanks too. That's pretty that's gutsy, let's say.
Got one of those E-tank lights. Maybe two. I'm not sure. 1 or 2. With the ammo.
Has to be really careful not to hit the spikes here. He'll take 60 energy and worth of damage.
So, of course, what I would do is hit those ones that are, as I found out at some point, in the floor.
Yeah, that's really deadly quicksand.
If you land and turn, you're just going to sink. Normally, you'd be deboosting off these spikes, but can't do it here. I was wondering if there was going to be a safety save here.
Oh, that's a sword.
Good old Precious.
While Eykir is going to the back of the gauntlet. It's going to be an ammo kill, no choice, but he has plenty of supers. And you can always farm them with Dragon Spits. Not with power bombs, though. Nothing in the back of Gauntlet.
We want to get this done as soon as we can for reasons even beyond just the timer. Vinter making sure to get down after each pass here.
Clears this pit.
So just trying to one. Yeah, I don't ever do this. So I don't know if there was a way to save yourself a hit there while still being efficient with damage. But this will be fine.
Yep, that's a dead Dragon.
I don't remember seeing one at this point in time. Anytime recent or long-term memory, but
No super drops, that's dingy. So logically, you can leave this room with morph bombs, but oh, mitts is okay. Mitts are speed locked. That's interesting.
yeah. So I guess if nothing else means they'll show up before too long, probably.
I remember a race sequence breaking the mitts, and turns out they were go mode.
Yeah, I had the thought as soon as I said it that if speed does not show up super quick, you got to start thinking, you know, maybe I shouldn't be doing a lot of miss checks.
Magic in the Edegun pit. So while Vinter has, you know, gravity suit, obviously, well, the game still expects you to have E-tanks here, so you'll still take like 30 or something energy of damage when you're hit by the critters, even with gravity suit. When you have no energy tanks, that 30 is a lot.
Yeah, there are things here that do hit harder, but I guess, yeah, those ones, they just didn't bother programming a different table in.
Have to be extremely careful in Mama Turtle's room. Eykir's headed to Pink Bread.
It doesn't mean much, but there's some nice spring ball in there that, you know, you go out of your way to pick up just to get through those and look all cool doing it. From Eykir. Another sword.
Two swords.
Okay, so we get to talk about it. So in Zelda 3, since there's one standing item on the screen at once, you pick up a progressive item, it changes the next one. Doesn't work that way here in Metroid, so that was indeed a tempered, just didn't update the graphic. It
So this
happens
means
sometimes.
if Eykir doesn't head to Meridia early, he'll be lacking swords for a while.
Yeah, you're right, and it can be a low visibility time sink, basically. We'll see, though. This green Bryn stuff is, I guess, kind of Super Metroid's hype cave. It takes a whole lot longer. It's just here, and it's got stuff in it.
Nothing in the right sandpit. Eykir gets spore skip. So I expect Vinter to skip the plasma room and Shack Tool. Shack Tool could be, you know, it would be easier with the ice beam, but he can always crystal flash clip. Yeah, I don't think he'll do that. Oh, doesn't want the E-tank. The other thing was a super pack. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that would be a pickup for sure if he's doing this anyway, other than how he did, coming starting from the back here at sub 20. So you just want to be able to go up to waterhole here in short order.
Okay, I get it.
But it does remain those two items being good value. You know, we'll talk about the Varia suit again if it continues to elude us here, but I mean, at least you know they're there if you need them.
Well, you're gonna need E-tanks anyway for Mother Brain too.
Well, we'll get them. But
yeah, you usually get them when you're going through the sea normally, but if this turns out to be an extremely fast sea, you might be looking for ammo and E-tanks. Because Charge Beam, as useful as it is no longer a progression item. Well, it's been like that for years now, but it used to be it was logically required for Ridley, but not anymore. Now it can be absolutely anywhere.
yeah, the cool thing, at least in my opinion, about all that is, I mean, you're gonna need some other beams to make good use of it. I mean, it turns Mother Brain from impossible to possible, no matter what else you have. But if you're missing ammo and needing it, you're probably also missing energy. And so the longer you're in there playing with the brain, more likely it is you'll be repeating said fight.
That's the mushroom. We're getting all the cool fetch quest items.
Vinter, I think, wanted a moonfall there, but it's whatever. So are we gonna blind check crabs? Yeah.
Be careful, because the crabs hurt a lot.
Yeah, this is exactly the problem with that. I do this occasionally and wonder if it's maybe you just bet it's nothing and you'll eyeball it on the way past. Yeah, like that. So not happy, throwing some bombs.
Loop didn't have a whole lot, but we did get the myths.
Yeah, after the myths, I was wondering, oh, it'd be cool if something else was in there because you're spending all that time, but yeah, it's not to be. It's just one of those. You got to be in the area somewhere, so Eykir can still feel okay about it. There's another E-tank that's going to take a while to get. So yet another decision to forego this one.
Not want to do the bomb jump, okay. Did he scout it, or?
Yeah, he saw it. That's what I mean.
Okay.
It's just, you know.
Oh, I thought you meant the location, because it's an E-tank there in the vanilla.
Oh, yeah. So, one of those 14, but he's had to make this decision a lot now, so.
I'm liking that scout by Eykir, because he knows speed isn't logic. He's wondering, is there anything else up here that's speed locked?
Yeah, good justification for getting it, and not a bad item, but we aren't going to bother getting it. So to the mountain, I suppose, for Vinter. We haven't seen that yet, have we? Well, whether we did or we didn't, we're doing it later. We got crystals to take out here.
Does have tempered. Yeah, okay, do Eastern first instead of pod. Because I find the problem in this situation is the dark turtle room. It's trivial if you have the fire rod, just light the lamp, but when you're in the dark and you don't really have any utility items, it can be a little scary. Especially on green now.
It's very valid. My first thought is usually routing, because it's, you don't have a mirror, you got to take a guess. Because I want to say if you go Dark World first here, you're doing a little extra walking if said mirror doesn't show up. And that's, again, yeah, even if you get through pod with what we have.
Well, the only real problem is the Dark Troll room, and Helmus Arcane can always delete you if he just chooses to. He's a run ender and in NMG. Because Helmus Arcane can do nothing, or can attack with a tail, can spit fireballs, or can charge you. And when the mask is off, he can do all three things at once. So if he hits you with the tail while he's charging you and spitting fireballs, and you're on green now, you have 6 hearts, he can die. Dying to Hamasar King is a big time loss.
Yeah, it is a long walk, especially in the dark. Speaking of, we got a couple in here too, but they're pretty straightforward. If you're not careful, the one headed toward the back can get you with the Ghidorahs in there.
So Eykir's choosing to do rank chip early, and because yesterday during the race he did it very late and he was late to a couple of important items. Because of that, doesn't want to be burned by the same thing twice in a row.
So Ghidorah is a Super Metroid item, and I just said, what the heck are they? What are those? They're not the mimics. Yeah, Eykir, that's what they are.
Yeah, the dangerous room in Eastern is this room he's in right now. If you get past it, then the rest is cake.
Yep. I mean, they all have eyes. So, large single eyes. So I'm thinking, well, things having eyes probably isn't that weird.
Eykir will do Fantoon on 1 E-Tank. Granted, he has gravity suit. It'll still be a little tight on health, especially if you take damage to go for that shot to the eye before it closes. But he should be fine.
Yeah, tank reserve suit seems fine. That's it for Eastern. Nothing there other than the boss, really. So probably just walk to pod, huh?
Well, you can flute there, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess you don't have to walk down. We want to ride. No, we're gonna do something else first. And I guess the flute, as I forget about it, does make this kind of thing easier to justify because you could just go whenever. Maybe a couple other nice to have before pod. Maybe you find something you do need on the way.
Well, you'll find Ice Beam, which is pretty nice. Like, your shot got blocked by a flame, so now he has to wait for the rain of fire. He's getting the long one, too. It's always frustrating with Fantoon.
See if he can get it here. Did he? Yeah, tried to switch to supers there. Didn't quite go. Unfortunate.
Of note, he's already at 50 supers. Wow.
So one of our reds here at Fantoon. Other one being Meyer, so I don't know if that'll play into things. Doesn't seem overly likely, but
And we're going to the Dark World again. But this time in the village. There's money in the right super spot. There will be checking Skullwoods, as they both did in last race.
yeah, Pyro decided it's good to come in here whenever your Dark World portal puts you right in front of here, so you might as well just come in and check. This place loves to hide a lot of necessary things in the 2 slots that it has.
Some racers, myself included, considered Skullwoods to basically be an overworld check.
Yep.
He's waiting for the Wallmaster to bring him home.
You get to skip re-pushing the statue, so good strat. Like you're on to Wreck D-Tank. Probably, I think, saved.
Back of red ship is nothing.
So now, with that thing again about the speed booster being rather required, does Eykir go to the top now? And potentially leave a check in there locked by speed? Does look like he's what he's doing. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that's how I'd think about it, but I don't know what decision I would make on this one, to be honest. And when speed's just up here, and if that happens, you never heard anything.
Sometimes racers do that, and I used to be like that too. Is you want to find speed because, especially if you know speed is somewhere, get as early as possible. Not just because it saves a lot of time, but I was gonna say you wanted it for Bryn Loop, but Eykir already has done Bryn Loop. That's a tank.
Just the one yet, so we're gonna want that.
Cape is not required.
I guess there is a weird, thing about Spike Cave where we don't need it, and Kane of Berna could provide that, but Spike Cave logic isn't. It's somehow less fun than Spike Cave, I think.
Here we'll be scouting what he's leaving behind. Nothing.
So semi-good call. Be better if something else required is in here.
There's speed.
Speaking of, yep. So at least we know. I don't think it'll hurt Eykir.
Well, if there's something in the waterway, one Vinter does.
That's why I don't think, because, stuff like that. I know Vinter checked Main Street, but I don't remember what it was. So probably nothing.
It was nothing. Oh, chooses not to get the extra ammo.
I gave it the one shot and was like, you know, no, we're fine. We hope we're fine.
And now Eykir has to damage boost across bowling alley. It doesn't have various use. It's going to be 60 energy per hit.
Do it in 4 or less.
And do it in 2. Oh, okay. You mean how many times you can get hit?
Yeah, before problems like getting into the reserves. But
I never know what's the logic for bowling alley. Is it just 2 E-tanks? Or
I think it's 2. I think it's at least how the tracker lights up that we use. Whenever you get 2, it goes from yellow to green. So we're going with that. But I love having to push into wreck ship for these E-tanks. It's the second one now. It's like it just makes sense to get them. Last one.
yeah, not nothing really useful in wrecked ship, but it's required. Oh, Fentune was anyway.
Yeah, and the top is, it's like, I don't think you feel terrible. There's a couple of E-tanks now are not that bad of a thing. You know, said it a bunch, but again, the Varia suit. It'd be really funny if that was, in fact, the last item we need after talking about it that early, but it does happen.
It's not super rare. It's not common, but it's not rare either. It's charge beam. There we go. Thinking bed up PBs.
Eykir, yeah, happy with the 55 missiles on the top of the 50 supers here. It's not going to worry about pink-headed missiles here, I don't think.
Nope. Nice deep boost. Just money.
But this one's worth more, eh?
Might have been picked up if it was 300.
Yeah. It's funny how you do this enough. We all know how we kind of we read items, and it's in a way not typical for most. Where it's just kind of check out, yeah, the first corner you're going to see, and we have a whole table in our head based on, you know, what do we see, what could that be, and sometimes this all happens in like a quarter of a second, and yet we do it.
We turn away because most of the time it's nothing. Oh, it's something. It's money. Wait, not enough money.
Mm.
Turn around, turn back, turn around again.
Yeah, I know I mentioned it in one other restream where, yeah, like the last one on the way out of the Ridley escape is a good one because the camera's a little late, so you just walk over and walk back, and if it's something, okay, you turn around, but odds are you're going to save the time by just walking over and walking back.
I think Vinter's in a good position right now.
Yeah, this routing is working out as best I think as it can.
Way too early to say who's ahead, but I like Vinter's position more than Eykir's. Eykir's gonna get his Dark World access, but how do you have? He will have it. He will whenever he goes to Uncle, but he will have the hammer too. But he has a lot of Super Metroid to cover. It's a lot of Meridia.
Yeah, and as soon as you said uncle, I had the thought in my own head at the time, like, front escape and all that. It's one of those things. A lot of times you'll see it done fast, or you might not see it done till really, really late. I mean, there's definitely an in between to it, but it can be at any time, and I see it a lot. So. Like you're having a number of things to do still, including sitting this guy down
Be
here.
careful. You don't have the various suit and acid really hurts. Did he say when he refilled? I didn't see.
I didn't see either, but for some reason I have the save noise ringing in my head. You ever get that? I'll go back later and look, see if I was right. But
Okay, now he's saving.
it was a cancel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I think you might have done it the first time.
Okay, so Eykir knows that his mitts are behind Speed Booster. He's probably wondering, well, where is my Moon Pearl? Probably in Meridia. If not, he'll do the remaining checks he has and link the past.
Yeah, that gravity where it was, that could result in a fair conclusion that we better go to Meridia. Now, what else was in there of note? Like a sword, I guess. Is that about it? Well, three swords, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Hype Cave had the bow and the flippers.
Yeah, I remember the sword, and there are 2 swords. Hey, guess what? That's 3. I'm good at math. So yeah, that'll feel nice, I guess. I mean, swords being semi-optional. There's 4, you need 2, but there's 3 in basically one spot. I mean, it's like, okay. Yeah. Appreciating my math. I'm glad you're qualified. Pythagorean theory. The user. That's a time to be alive right there. Let's talk about math. Even though I don't know what other math do we have to talk about in here. Probably not much because we got charged, so we're not going to be counting ammo. Well, we're not going to be counting ammo because we got a lot of ammo. It's usually the extent of it in this rando. Yeah, it's actually talking about low count of E-tanks here we've had. Now, Eykir picked up a few, but I did, I guess. I thought Vinter had one, and I thought maybe there was because he's got an input going on up there, that maybe something was covering it, but no, he's got none. So he's going to wreck ship, so which one was it then that Eykir had? Where was it?
I borrowed in Burn Loop.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess so. Got this. We're working off the gray ones here today. Looks like, as we see here, it's a 3 spot. I always forget. There's no real reason to pay attention how many of them get picked up, but they're useful now. Crumble ice with not much so far, but I wasn't looking. Sometimes you do the ice first, but
Nothing.
Sunday morning Fantoons for Vinter. With the cycle count from us. I promise it's morning, don't worry about it. Anyway, starting out okay. But, you know, I was going to have to do this, go into the menu a bunch here with just the 99 active. So Vinter will be taking a 4 spot as well, getting slightly better patterns here, and it looks like, to me, like it's just 1 missile off, maybe 2. More than 2, but the same thing with this E-tank here at the Turtles for Eykir. It's just, you know, we're low still, but it just takes a while to get to.
For that E-tank, Ozzy showed me how you can get it with just 1 power bomb. Like, you wall jump, mirror morph, like a power bomb, then wall jump, mirror morph again, and hit the power bomb. It propels you to the E-tank. That seems kind of hard.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Good tool to have if you work out the process. And of course, you know, a couple of free tries that are handy here, given that we have the regular bombs as well, but, you know, a couple of misses and you're just kind of not enjoying life at that point. It's typically only have to climb back up because you're going to miss the ledge to get to retry. The little ledge that sticks out about 3/4 of the way up. So you can do it from the right. That would be a little easier to recover from, but I don't know that I've seen that. Which probably means it does exist. So Eykir gonna clean all this out. Yeah, like we've seen it, and it's gonna come away with a whole armory, but a whole lot else. Might be able to at least pick up one of those sand pits if he does them in the correct order. Correct, you know, in this case determined by the seed. It's that moonfall I was talking about before, just coming out of that one door. It's funny where you can do it. It just seems not super significant, but it's easy. Again, once you know how, because I took 4 years to learn, but it's easy. You save something, and that's what you need in a game 3 especially. For speed locked items here, Eykir's, as you know, gonna enjoy this one. Hey, but wait, this is like Billy Mays just moved.
Wasn't done yet.
I know this is just something funny for me to think about, so it's probably not gonna come up. It might, but swords where they are. We don't know where the last one is, but if we put it in some weird places, in theory, I guess it means Eykir No Speed isn't on one of the tablets, but we don't even have a book. I thought it was cool, and then I was like, well, it is in Thieves Town. There's no way he's going to miss it for that long. Nice mock ball. Good animation off that sprite for it, too. Just judicious use of missiles there to get through free bowling. Low weaponry. Sometimes it's just a little couple of flying pancakes and all that can slow you down some. The other quick fix is just drop a power bomb.
Yeah, but that's a lot of lag.
Yeah, nobody needs that. It's just, I guess, quick is just a relative term. The ice clip for Eykir, so, you know, I was going to say, what do we, somebody has flippers, yeah, but Eykir does not, so for what he knows, speed could be the way through to here, too. No check of this from Vinter on the way. He's just going to bet on it, but just missiles. So we'll pick them up because we're here. Power bombs and out. What's on Vinter's plate now? Maybe Green Bryn. Maybe Pod. Pod probably makes more sense, but
I wonder if it's Bryn Loop coming up. You can full clear it. And
yeah.
if there's something at Waterway, that's huge. Titan mid-square speed locked at Bryn Star Reserves.
You know, see how much he likes to attempt at the Bryn skip here, because if you have a clearable dungeon, like, sure, but there comes a point where you look at Green Bryn and we're like, well, you probably do need it, and headed to Gauntlet, I'm going to guess that this is going to encompass that. Now, we were talking for about the last month, maybe two, about this thing where we have the sepia tone palette override that the vanilla game puts in for the prologue. And for some reason, we've seen this lately in the rando where you take damage in a certain way, you do not issue damage-taking sounds, and your sprite turns that sepia color until a certain other action. Eykir got a hold of me and said it finally happened to him. I noticed at one point, people are like, well, we don't know. He got a hold of me. And I guess before I go any further, I'll just say if you didn't see it, that's what happened there in
It was very early.
Aqueduct there.
The gloves were at the mushroom spot. And Morph Ball, along with Gravity Suit, was at Back of Escape. So it was a 2-minute morph ball, basically.
Yeah, this is this all early sphere stuff here we're seeing from Eykir, and we saw from Vinter already. So, you know, sure, everybody hoped there was something here, but at any rate, I guess. So you saw it again there. You see the color changing like that under certain damage conditions? We don't know what causes it. If we had Eykir's audio on, you'd hear it too. You make no noise when you take hits that way either. Have no idea on that one. So his mitts. In about 2.5 minutes. That big question mark is going to come up. So King's Tune here, as we just see the mitts acquired on the other side. Eykir's going to finally get to this one, and it's kind of a big deal here today, isn't it?
Yep. Hook shot.
So that, of course, also being speed locked. But again, I know the speed was easy, but
It's probably speed lock, yes. Depends where the mirror is.
oh yeah, right. There's that other way to get to it. Yeah, Eykir's gonna hopefully run out of stuff to do and make his way toward front of escape.
Vinter has probably enough ammo for running Ridley, if it comes to that. Now we're gonna see waterway. If there's something here, then I'm afraid Eykir will take a very long time to get it. And it's a sword.
It's the last sword. Well, that's kind of that's entertaining. It's good for everybody, you know. Nobody gets hurt with that one.
Moon Pro is at Uncle, so I assume Eykir will take a while before getting there.
Both Precious and 3 speed lock swords, SMZ3. Everybody.
So defeating Ganon requires the...
Yeah, okay, yeah, I remember. I mentioned that before. It was like, well, we don't know where that last one is. Well, so yeah, in addition to mitts, the sword, one of them.
Eykir has not checked Uncle yet, and that's where the Moon Pearl was.
This is what I mean. It's like, it's hard to say whenever you get to him, whenever a seed does what it does to you like this, because it takes a while. I mean, you're going to commit to that whole thing down to Zelda's cell, and even with boots, I mean, it's not real dense, so it's like, it's not real high on the list of things.
That was Screw Attack on Floating Island, which could be huge if we end up hell running Woodley. Makes the trek way easier.
So way easier for me, no matter how much stuff I got. I don't like it down here.
And it's made easier by the fact we can start in the back from Mire, the Mire portal. That's one less crystal flash needed. And Vinter will be able to grab that blue tunic.
Yes, that's an incidental, but not a ton of Zelda health. I think we're gonna get enough, like in short order, but you know, then could still speed things up a little bit.
Yeah, you can do faster strats where you take damage, but it doesn't really matter.
So there's that thing that we were talking about this whole time.
Well,
Interesting access to it, having to go the long way to Hera. So $20 mirrors down there or Norfair. We'll see. And there we are leaving an item in Hera. Or did we see them both? I don't think we did.
I wasn't counting.
Well, I stopped counting after the first one, but I was gonna say, I think leaving it.
Wasn't in the big chest. Wasn't on. Yeah, we're leaving an item behind.
It's just so I led with leaving because I figured you find Varia and you. Well, like you're also. Where are we going here? Like, oh, we're going that way.
Cool. Well, yeah, the secret passage entrance.
I mean, so, you know, there's choices now, kind of like the ones Vinter had in similar circumstances, that Dark World access, or, you know, maybe actually go to Super Metroid again.
It's not a whole lot he hasn't done. Now, nothing in logic comes to, well, I mean, the plasma room and actual withstanding, but they're not in logic.
Well, we have, I guess, at least on Vinter's side, knowledge of Ridley. Even if we didn't check it, I'm bad at sorting out how many of each.
And the other red crystal is at Mire.
The Ridley's just a crystal or a boss or something. Yeah. It's like one of the Metroid boss tokens.
Gonna refill and head back to Link to the Past. Eykir's gonna get his speed booster.
He's like, there it is. Finally.
Vinter has done all of Criteria, all of Brinstar, all of Rex Ship, and Meridia minus Jack Tool and Plasma Room, which are not in Logic. So that might be the last we see of Super Metroid until the Ridley Hell Run.
Yeah, as you're talking about, I'm trying to think what's going to get Vinter to go in the direction of Hera other than the crystal that's up there. So yeah, not the greatest Varia spot ever. At least among those that aren't super late.
Gonna check Meyer. Nope, Desert first. Okay, just scouting the ledge item. King's Tomb. Not gonna say no to a free E-Tank. And there's the hook shot for Vinter coming up. Eykir has giant charge beam now. Hook shot for Vinter. Wow. There's a lot of stuff he can do now. I mean, he can do all of Death Mountain, basically.
Yeah, no mirror for Swamp, but yeah, this could, yeah, I was gonna say probably immediately is gonna send him toward at least the right side. Now, again, no mirror. What's he do here? He check Hookshot Cave and then have to redo it for Hera.
You do Paradox, then go to Hera, and then come back like on the right side, do Spiral Cave, take the portal at the bottom, go back up.
Yeah, it does make the most sense. I know I've a handful of times forgotten about Hera's existence whenever all this stuff just opens up. But, yeah, I suppose.
Eykir is done with Thieves Town. Oh, with cape and half magic, spike cape would be a pretty easy check, but it's a dead end, unfortunately. Cal's floating island sees screw attack. So Vinter will also leave an item behind here, but
Eykir was started to head toward the rest of the Smith chain and was like, oh yeah, we couldn't start that, could we? Because
Bo was in Hype Cave along with the flippers.
yeah, I guess we could have done mirrorless Smith there for the mirror that's probably there if it isn't in Lower Norfair, because why not? I was talking before about the leaving the item, and like you're saying, you know, we're going to because we can't get it. I guess didn't realize we didn't see any fire yet.
Last seed yesterday was a long seed before we got fire. Fire was in Fire Rod was in Swamp Pendant Swamp Palace. And the lamp was in the big chest of Turtle Rock.
You know, you're talking about the Varia suit in your first seed there on the left side. I was like, well, if it's not there, it's probably Turtle Rock, so
Silvers and Super Bunny.
yeah, and 10 trial runs to go with it. How nice. Hookshot Cave from Eykir now. Be pretty short order, so basically converged, I guess, now here from both runners.
Yeah,
But nothing.
but Vinter is up one dungeon in the eastern. Eykir will not take as long to go through it. He already has everything except the boss kill. But he still has to go back there and go all the way to Armos Knights, so that's a bit of a time loss.
Yeah, did that real early. Sorry, but go ahead.
Not just Spike Cave, like, gonna see the Spike Cave play.
Yeah, that's the thing. With Eastern, if it is something and you get it early, you're feeling pretty good. If you don't, it's really late. But, you know, if it's nothing, you do have to look. Yeah.
I'll get a check.
Yeah, so close to that tablet, but yet so
we're gonna
far.
check it later. But what if fire is on that tablet?
Well, so far I haven't seen the evil that I've seen in about the last couple of weeks. You know, seeds of every randomizer that I've played. So I'm gonna hope that that continues.
Eykir's about to get his bow. And slippers. Vinter is also checking Spike Cave. And Quake for Eykir.
This might even be one of these times like on Vinter's route Neither one of them really where it's good to pick this up at this point. It's just it's funny to me just because it's, you know, it's a book. We have a flute to get into desert, assuming the mirror shows up.
Another question could be, could this be a pet seed? Well, we know we need the mirror for Kane, so, and Turtle Rock is a pendant. So the only thing that could be on ped would be whatever's locking Meyer, if it's something we don't have. Or Varrier, I guess.
Speaking of, I guess we're going to see that here. There, yep. So that is a possibility.
Could be Varrier, could be Ether. Take a look-see at the screw attack item. And probably also the Showcase Showdown. This might reset out of this.
A long walk, but
No, he's gonna fight.
yeah, okay. 70 supers. I'm like, okay. Do you know something about that charge opener that I don't?
No, I don't know.
I'd
Doesn't
say
even need to refill for Ridley.
yeah, that's why I was like, okay, this is like easy call. Just so long as we can get up there and see that thing. All right.
Base jump is not required. Eykir is done with Armos Knights.
Vinter is who wants those supers. Just for anybody new here, 70 supers is not a number that you see sub 90. It just I don't know when that happens.
We could have a seed with Fire Rod in GT. All we could be missing. Well, Mirror will give us the Cane. And that would leave Fire Source and Ether.
We have to pick up Fire Rod in GT just for Ganon. That'd be something.
I mean, Lamp is outside GT, but we might never find it.
Mm-hmm. That's. I mean, if we find a Fire Rod in GT, that's the thing that we'll find. That didn't really come out right, but yeah, I mean, we need it for like lamp for pod and whatever, but hard to say where it is, so it's probably just on Coldster. Bean coming in with the 8. Welcome. SMZ3. Good to see you.
Eykir will be doing pod before Vinter.
Yeah, game 3, once again, everybody, so SMZ3 tournament. We're just running pretty standard mode here, but we start with boots. We're in a tournament, or bracket stage of tournament, and this is the last round to determine who the final 8 are going to be to play on. Best of 3 on all these, so it's kind of... It took me a while to find, but yeah, you see the marks there, 1 and 1. But once this is finalized, we'll start getting some more up here on the schedule and see what we get as far as matchups.
We need... For gun mode, we need Mirror, which will give us swamp access, but also the cane on Spectacled Rock. And beyond that, we need the Ether for Mire and the fire source of some sort for Gan and GT. Fire Rod could be in GT. Lamp, we know, is always outside GT in the 774, but it could be in a very bad location. We should see.
$30 supers into the thin one. 6 regulars for every miss to replace it. But fairly cooperative so far.
Can do some charge phasers. Oh, Eykir. I think it was it deliberate? I was more paying attention.
Yeah. I wasn't either.
It was in the dark maze. That might have been a death warp, so we can go to...
Yeah, that was the last thing I remember, yeah.
And Ridley is down. Yeah, that was a deliberate death warp. The Dark Turtle room could be a bit tricky, but would be fine.
The thing is with this, any medallion helps you a little.
Well, Quake doesn't really help, but Ether and Bombos will kill the flip turtles instantly.
So Quake not light them up after you flip them.
Quake only paralyzes them for slightly longer than they're normally paralyzed on their backs, so...
It's yeah, minor.
It's really bad.
I thought at the very least it would, like, you know, it blinks them when it hits, because they like to scatter when you swing.
Fortunately, they have to be on their back already for Quake to do anything to them.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying you do that and then hit the medallion and then they light up at least so you can...
Oh, you can see them through the dark? Oh.
Well, briefly. I don't know any better ways to deal with it, and I'm going to go ahead and say that was not intentional.
Yes.
Unfortunately. You can see why, even Vinter, and these are accomplished runners, but you saw Vinter, he kind of puts this off, what Eykir's doing, and this is why, because it works great until it doesn't.
Some cooperative key hunters, the last one at least.
We're fully protected, but that is true. The E-tank count, or the energy count that we have right now isn't fantastic. That there, of course, being E-tank for the wrong game. Vinter wants a safe way out of here. You have to really know your time to get the wall jump without high jump boots. Yeah, it looks like one too many fire fleas there. I think this room's weird. Like, I want to say, even with one fire flea left, it's pitch black.
Second try on a Holster King. No, he didn't go that far. He died in Dark Turtle Room. My bad. Should be fine if with silvers. Oh,
Yeah,
he
looks
had
like
the bomb.
expecting it to be done there.
That's the problem with the bombs. They just bounce off his. Whoa, that still worked. Okay. And Helm's King is dead. Is that the first bottle? I think it is.
Has to be, because, yeah, I mean, we've seen 6 kid check by now, so. It'd be interesting.
High jump boots. You have been so useful earlier.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, hey, thanks, game. Appreciate you. Vinter, yeah, well, let's try and get something figured out here. In the absence of that, use those iframes. Try to hit the ceiling. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh.
It's the first time I've done it on SpeedGaming, and this is why, because I really, really, really didn't want to see that. Nope. Or, well,
He did.
what room is? Oh, okay. I totally missed it. Okay.
He entered to manipulate the key hunter, so might as well save if you take the time to load the room. Turned out to be a good call because he died.
Yeah, I was watching Eykir's helm at the time, I'm sure, and didn't see the saver, but it makes real good sense knowing what kind of energy was in hand coming up. And I think maybe a teensy bit of tilt here, just kind of tanking through here. It's not going to help.
I think charged spacer shots will hurt them, but it will take forever.
Yeah. So SMR invariants, I see people do that, despite the fact that even knows that amount of time hurts even worse. Oh, he's gonna flash. That's why the tank's okay. But yeah, situations like this sometimes requires you just to be patient. But I mean,
you can just tank the damage. Now, if some viewers are not familiar with this Super Metroid, the reason he mid-air morphs is that You don't get knocked back when you take damage when you're in morph ball form. Whereas if he stayed upright or, you know, spinning or whatever, he would be knocked back into the hole he's jumping out of.
Apparently you have to kill something in that room, or lag is silly. But yeah, you know, I guess I totally forgot about the flash option, only because, you know, you try to get out straight up, and what happened was something I didn't want to say, but happens when things go wrong with me. That's how it happens. It's just the knockback messes with your flow. You hit the ceiling, which runs your iframes out, and it just compounds on you. That's exactly what happened there. But yeah, thankfully that save did happen.
We are still on the lookout for the mirror, which will give us swamp access, and the red cane that's on Spectacle Rock. And after that, or before that, don't know what order the items will show up, we need an Aether from Meyer. And as for the fire situation, Fire Rod could be in GT, as Turtle Rock and Swamp Skullwoods are pendants. But if that's the case, then Bombos has to be outside of GT to get and be able to get in and complete Ice Palace. And speaking of Fire Rod, there it is.
We should talk about it more.
So now it's really just Mirror and the Aether now.
Yeah, this upper north here, it started with that space jump over there.
And there's Aether.
Yes, you could kind of smell it. I could.
Mirror.
I don't know.
I'm saying Mirror so it appears, and we're going to go at 137.
Yeah, it just... I mean, how many checks are left in this section here right now? we didn't actually see the bubble missile, did we?
He's going to scout on his way down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. So that would have been just chef's kiss, let me tell you. But yeah, we could have done all this first. I mean, not likely given our loadout. We had to flute and speed, so we're going to do Ridley first, but space jump and all that just here. Savari was in Hera map chest. And yeah, again with that no mirror, so that was the long walk.
Oh boy, Eykir.
Yes, I don't.
Well, it's not too bad. I mean, you have various. It hurts, but not that badly. But it's just you just lost 2 E-tanks for nothing. That always feels bad.
Yeah, it was good patience though. Getting out of the lava, a lot of times you unclench quick and it messes you up first, but you still had to clear those gold pirates, and like you're showing good patience there to make the movements required to keep from contact. So, damage contained. I think the name of the seat is Reserve Tanks just came in and said, hey, look at me, I'm here, I exist. We had those for a while. Vinter uses them in Fantoon.
Eykir's having trouble doing the Crystal Flash. The reason I have input display in the emulator is just to know if I'm holding down the correct buttons for crystal flashing.
I mean, I know when I started to run it in Rando regular, I couldn't do it a couple times. I'm like, I'm holding what you told me to hold, and it didn't work. I still don't know why. At some point, clearly I was doing something wrong. So how are you supposed to get the button combo for that back in the day? Was that in the manual or something?
You saw it during the track mode, but
Well, yeah, but they
the
don't.
game didn't really tell you. The other thing that they showed you was how to do the power bomb combos, beam combos, but it wasn't too clear how that happened until I realized you had to unequip every beam except the one you want to use and charge.
Yeah, I mean, that one definitely takes paying attention to see, okay, how's this happening? And then you kind of figure it out since it goes off automatically once you have it set right. But I don't actually know where the original info on LR down came from. So, yeah.
I might have gotten it from Nintendo Power. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
I figured that was probably a thing, but I had to imagine it was, especially in the attract mode, something like it, you had to figure out. So I never actually. I don't have my card anymore. The manuals are long gone, so I don't know.
Vinter is doing something I like to do. The reverse entrance into Croc. Oh, the diagonal stuff. Okay, he's giving up. He's gonna check Crumble Ridge from the front. Yeah. I was gonna say, funnily enough, that move is actually could be in logic, in hard logic. Morph Ball could be at Crumble Tower, and you'd have to get it that way.
Yeah, I do remember seeing that, and that's when we find out that even in hard logic, I want to say that's the one upper north air check that's very locked. Doesn't matter how many tanks you have. So
Yeah,
that's funny for that whenever you go that way, but yeah, I go backward like that all the time for some reason. Probably because I like to do Croc first because it's dense. That said, if you don't do it, the button combo and the timing is something you got to work yourself into. So
Vinter is going straight to Ice Palace, not wanting to be trolled like yesterday, where our go mode was in Ice Palace.
yeah, I mean, there's
sorry.
No, it's okay. It's easy to do. All I'm gonna say is this gets funny because you know where that cane is, and you're like, I just want the mirror before I come here. I know where the cane is, so the mirror is essentially your cane right now. But you get far enough, and it's like, what if it's just in here?
It's wonderful that mirror is our second to last go, because we get to go mode Swamp Palace and Mire. And that can save a lot of time compared to full clearing them. Swamp always, and Mire, if you have a Gun Mire, then you save a lot of time versus looking for the big key and the items. So there are not a ton of things left to check. I mean, Pod has been done, but not by Vinter. That's right, you only need the cane to complete Mire. Right, could be a double dip then. But you do get to go mode Swamp, and that's always appreciated.
Of course, there's logic that says if Kane is potentially in here or not. Problem is, you have to come in here to find out what that logic is.
You will grab high jump boots. And throughout all the Super Metroid action, I've noticed that Eykir has saved time by using Spring Ball a lot. Compared to the time it took to get it.
Yeah, and you say it, and I say boing, boing, boing. I'm like, okay. I gotta be careful of that because talk about boing, boing, and it's not about hookshot. It's gonna mess somebody up whenever the boing, boing hint comes on one of the tablets. Because Spring Ball does not apparently go boing.
Nope.
I don't know what it does, but
Could still be on Ether tablet. Would be pretty mean. Or it could be in the Hera basement and we have fire now.
I mean, it is 2 checks on a loop instead of just the one. So that book showed up in Spike Cave.
And if they hadn't done Spike Cave, it could have been a more attractive 3-check play.
Yeah. Just that Spike Cave happened to open one of those, unfortunately. But
Mary cannot be on the pedestal because it locks Mire, and Turtle Rock is a pendant. Only thing left that could have been on pedestal was Ether, and it was not. So no.
you said it locks Meyer?
It locks Ether. Ether cannot be. Couldn't have been on ped either. But we didn't know at the time what Mire was locked.
Yeah, well, it keeps you from getting the cane, which leads to a penance, so yeah. That part I remember.
So what is left for Vinter after this?
Pod.
Still no Plasma Room, because we don't have Screw Attack. Screw Attack is locked by Mirror. So it's not... cannot lock itself. As Eykir gets the Fire Rod, and oh, that's... Grapple Beam and Ice Palace. Shack Tool is in play.
Well, it's another 2-check loop, isn't it? Take your pick. Hera, Iridia. I would say it was good just to wrap that other one up though. The charge does mean that Mirror could be in Plasma, yes?
Is a pseudo Screw Attack in logic for Plasma Room? I don't know.
It for normal, it is somewhere. I don't know if for normal or for hard or for both, but that's where I'm like, somebody tells me, I'm going to check. Okay, so what I have here says no charge for normal logic Plasma. Kind of sad on that one. I totally didn't catch when the shovel was collected. But,
oh.
Yeah.
Eykir had that super early, so... Oh, it could be on Sick Kid. That's a check we haven't done. Because the bottle was so late, the first one anyway. Ah! Where'd it go?
It actually happened. A late sick kid. Like
So the bottle at Hutterberry was progression. Wow.
yep. I didn't think it was really something that happened because I've seen enough late first bottles and I'm like, oh, this would be cool. And it's nothing. But today is the day.
I mean, there was a weekly where, Hard Logic Weekly, where Morph Ball was on Sick Kid and the only attainable bottle was at Fireflies.
Yeah. Fireflies is another fun spot for that kind of thing. That, right along with...
That was quite a seed.
Our 110-minute go mode, dude. Like I say, I'm sure somebody here knows I say this all the time, but 2 hours and 20 minutes is like what seems to happen all the time. But that's when people like me are playing, I guess. I don't know. If I have a good day, that happens, and then I only have like one dungeon left, but this is a pretty good go mode time.
Where was on Sick Kid?
Yeah, a little bit of...
The bottle was at Hutterberry Special, so... yeah. The Lower North Fair was doubly required.
I mean, I did say the mirror's going to be there, so I mean, sure.
It was, just behind what was there.
It's just glass item unlocks another one. Probably glass, anyway. Yeah, not... Sorry, your turn.
I just want to say Vinter gets to go mode the Pod, Swamp, and Mire, which always feels good.
Yeah, Pod does feel good, but where was that key at? Do you remember that?
Front. The big key
Yeah,
was in front.
so that does help big time. And Meyer TBD, but Eykir will be in the same position on that one.
Yes, to anyone who has never tracked before, the tracker loves to eat input.
Yeah, it auto refreshes, so if you click something while that process is going on, it's even on a good day, it's like a second and a half every time. I don't know what the interval is, but that's what it is. That's what happens. That's mostly for the bigger races where you have more than one tracker, so that what's on the button panel matches the screen. So it's a trade-off.
Also, you cannot queue your clicks.
Using the stat as a hurry-up term, strangely appropriate there.
Vinter's not opening chests. He really wants to be done with this. What could he find though? Like nothing really useful. No, wave beam maybe, but it's not a meaningful.
We don't care. I mean, worst thing is nothing Vinter's concerned about, that being that platform room in TR. Oh, no, we're not going to TR either, so never mind. Powder. Powder's about it.
That's probably why you bought a potion, so you wouldn't have to worry about health during the climb.
And then screw attack and stay right where it is, because we're going to shut it off anyway.
No, screw doesn't help anymore at all.
Mm-mm.
Except damaging down during baby skip. Vinter has to do pod and Meyer now. We'll start with pod.
This is the ultimate, you know, do I have to?
It all depends where the big key is, unfortunately. Like, if the big key in Meyer is vanilla, you don't save any time at all. But if it's the first chest you open is the big key, then hey.
Yeah, I always go to the bridge because if I'm gonna go, I go to the bridge first because if the key's there, that's cool. But then it's not, and it's in the one you're supposed to do first. I don't know, I think I'll save time by going into the spike button room, spike chest room once. And you do if the key isn't in either place, so I guess that's just what I do.
I thought the big key was in front, but I'm not sure anymore. No, it wasn't in front. I've been doing too many of these. They all blend together.
Yeah, as I say, I did. I need to set a 1-a-day limit, so it should naturally. I mean, not every day, but
Okay, there we go. There it is. In the turtle room. Eykir is done with the ice palace. He really has to turn in that bottle now.
I was gonna say you start here, you refill, but
Yeah, he's gonna do the tablet and Meyer basement, my Hera basement, maybe.
see, I hadn't. I figured that's what was going to happen, but I usually by now you get to talk about does a runner feel behind, and
The answer is always yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't have said so, but I guess Eykir could be looking at things like the back-a-pod incidents and things like that. It's usually routing that causes it, but I don't think for Eykir that there was a lot of obvious bad routes. So something like this could be, go to the weird thing and hope it's there. I'd also just not even be thinking about the bottle.
That's a Hera basement check. Lamb could be in the basement of Hera. Be in Meyer.
Probably is now. We're gonna see. say that could be pet outside of the Turtle Rock Dark Room. It's one thing ruining that dream. Or there was maybe something required for those dungeons anyway that was locked by something dark. That's common enough, and I never can remember which ones those were. It's Mimic Caves.
Yeah, it could
Possibility,
be.
yeah.
I mean, yesterday the lamp was in the big chest of Turtle Rock.
Anything before that dark room, yeah. It's just something we're doing now because it's go mode time, but stuff like that sometimes you can miss because you got to think about, okay, you know, were the mitts locked by something, whereas the cane locked by something, in an average seed.
That's the last dungeon. And boss, so we'll head straight to GT and Turian after this. That's gonna be a fast finish.
Yeah, and Eykir did not do Zor at any point. Just worried about it, and that's fair, you know. But this one may be a product of routing.
It's a Godmire.
See, that's what I meant before. That's my Godmire.
Yeah, I always check the bridge first too.
Oh,
I know you're not supposed to do that, but
well, hey, bros. It's like when you're looking for the one thing in TR, you know, do the big chest before mimics. But I don't, because it's extra screens, but then that's when it's in the big chest.
is Eykir going to check Shack Tool?
Seems like it. Who got the grapple? Or, no,
Was it
no,
the boss?
Was not.
I forgot who. One of the. Was it? I forgot.
Well, I think it's cold stare, so never. But Eykir is not doing it.
No, this is gonna check. Yeah, X-ray.
We might be headed for Waterway too after this. Definitely respect the play, you know. Because if you're just playing, you know, standard stuff at this point, you're not helping yourself.
Not even been thinking about the bottle. Got it so late. Everybody got it so late. You know, the 3 other bottles could be in GT for all we know.
Well, and I wonder too if Eykir maybe does know about the bottle and is thinking, the heck with that. You know, there's probably another bottle that my opponent got that I just didn't go to. Of course, that's not the case, but when you have multiple options for progression / fetch, that can happen.
White Jet said always follow the ABCDEF. Always be clearing dungeons except fetch quests.
Somehow, 5 years I had never heard the EF part. I didn't hear the D part for a couple, but It's like, well, how's this gonna go? I can't wait to hear this. It's pretty good. I want to keep it going though. Can we do anything for GH? Probably not.
It's gonna be a waterway check.
Yeah. And this will be the point where you'd wish it was junk instead of what's actually here. And the sluggos are just...
And that's a reset. Well, I'm hoping for a jet seed, so I'm gonna say hope room.
I mean, even if not, this... Like I said, I don't know how Eykir would really feel. I mean, I should. I'm sitting here watching this, but the timer itself says that none of this is so bad. Or they're just that good at it. You know?
That's a small key. Not hope room. It's going right. Oh, Eykir is going to Mother Brain to think about his next move.
Yeah, this is something I have come up sometimes where it's just like, well, it's got to be done. So it really doesn't matter, but at the same time, there's a part of you that's like, I just want to know where I should be.
Another bottle. Ooh, vanilla compass.
What was it? See, I definitely had no idea which box it was. Just that rune. Oh, I guess he can remember because it's the one that does the ding ding with the floor. You know, only if you play Zelda do you understand that sentence, I think.
Sound of a falling key or item.
Well, here in modern Zelda, it's the sound of walking forward 10 feet anywhere. Sorry, not sorry.
You found the powder.
It's good. Gives you a little bit of that anti-fairy before land mode 2 is the one where, you know, maybe you powder that one if you get beat up.
Vanilla map too.
Oh yeah, well yeah, I was gonna say I remember the map chest. That one's easy. That's kind of fun, actually.
Be vanilla big key too.
Well, yeah, maybe. What armor are we on? Can we have vanilla armor? Or do we got... I don't know what colors this is.
Vinter has blue.
Yeah, so we won't see it, but... Quick, somebody call him.
It's here. Bottom right chest.
Alright, 6, 7, 11, 12, 13, 17. Am I doing it right? Sure.
Ah, Eykir was going for the spring ball zip skip. I thought we followed the Price is Right rules for guessing key, the big key in GT. The one who's closest without overbidding. Guess we're not getting a stand up either. Damaging down. Mother Brain screaming, indicating the next beam is the cutscene beam. So you're not actually gonna die. But if you charging again, and she hasn't screamed, and you're down to no E-tanks, you're in trouble.
I've seen it happen, I haven't managed it. It's a weird bit of timing, I guess, of whenever you get under 100 where it can happen.
Oh, don't slow down the Metroid. So the idea of stand-up is to damage Mother Brain as much as you can without slowing down the cutscene, because the Hyper Beam kills her much faster than Charge Plasma. But you have to wait until the baby dies to get the Hyper Beam, so you just take advantage of the cutscene's time to get some damage in.
Anybody ever edit something to see if you do enough damage before the baby dies? Can you save the baby? Probably not. He'll just kill the baby and then immediately die or something. Or one hit.
That's a dead Mother Brain. Single G for Eykir. Oh, that's a nice lineup. Oh, very good. Oh! Third one didn't hit because it was so late.
You got the immediate apology, though.
This will be a fast Ganon because butter, silvers. Hasn't used his potion either, I think, so. There's no timer because when Mother Brain is defeated first, the planet doesn't actually blow up. Because you might have to return to it to find more items if you haven't full cleared it. So you get the escape sequence, but you don't actually have a timer.
I guess the question is, Does the planet blow up after Ganon and you just don't get to see it? It's one of those, if the tree falls, doesn't make a sound. Also single G's, by the way, just a different one, slightly different flavor. Here for Vinters, I'm going to go get the other one in short order.
Resetting to Super Metroid.
That's the Super Nintendo Entertainment System philosophical discussion. Does if the planet doesn't die, I guess you don't need to save the animals because they're not locked in there. I don't know.
Years ago, I would say that saving the animal was not canon because no animals means no Metroid Fusion, because I really didn't like Fusion. But then Dread came out, and that was amazing. So I'm like, I guess the canon is saving the animals.
You had to have Dread, or Fusion for Dread is the problem, but
Yeah.
the animals in Dread would have been heckin' pretty fun.
I didn't hate Fusion. It was just like, wasn't the usual quality.
It needs to be not on the GBA, is what I think. But it is pretty good.
Eykir will get his big key immediately.
Just a little anecdote while the opportunity is there. The first time I ever saw the Fusion suit was in Prime. My brother had the GBA in the game, and so I went out of my way to buy a link cable just to do that.
All right, Game Boy link cables. Wow, that's a blast from the past.
Just so I could have it, knowing full well it's just a dumb gimmick, but I think he eventually got into doing stuff on Wind Waker with it, and that was probably about it.
I hear having a bit of trouble with the first the first dark room of Meyer Basement. It's really it's the toughest of the sequence, and just went back up the stairs to reset it.
Yeah, this lamp is just MIA, and that's, yeah, I mean, Turtle Rock probably has the best odds on it, so we'll go with that. What did we do? Turtle Rock, what was the medallion for? Oh, it's the Ether 2, yeah, so it's available. It's gonna be like, it's bombos.
So it looks like Eykir would be on his DM climb when Vinter finishes, because he's about to be done with Meyer, and Swamp will take 2 minutes. So yeah. And that's a dead viddy. At the end of Metroid 2, Samus defeats the Metroid Queen, and a baby hatches in front of her, and the baby Metroid thinks that Samus is its mother. So it follows it around, and at the start of this game, Super Metroid, she hands it over to some scientists and gets kidnapped by Mother Brain via Ridley. She grows into a very large size, but she recognizes Samus and comes and save her from the brain.
Very forgiving, too. I mean, if you're a kid, you're like, you really just abandoned me to get poked and prodded at, and I'm supposed to save you? Yeah. Like, no, Mama, where are you going? It didn't leave for long. Wish we got to play a little more series in Rando, but I guess there's nothing to Rando, so we don't.
Oh, but not do standard. He didn't do it last time either.
You said Eykir wasn't going to do it, and I looked and it was at 5 tanks. Yeah, he did eventually, but when he said it, I looked, he's at 5 tanks, so he must have got. I don't know much about it, so I just figured maybe they popped reserve to get the health back, or did some other way that I don't know.
He had reserve tanks, so yeah, probably that.
All the Metroid is go to the planet, kill the natives. Metroid Prime 2 was supposed to go different. That did not last long. Yeah. New one's looking to be the same way. Pretty violent stuff.
Baby, no.
If you don't baby skip, you do the lag reduction here just by getting that hyper beam off the screen as much as possible.
You get in her grill and shoot. I would be shocked if you save the animal. You might be feeling behind.
Yeah, we're talking about that in Eykir's perspective. I don't know about Vinter because, again, sub 230, what's there to feel bad about? But the seed is hard to gauge for some reason.
And Eykir will be on his DM climb.
And of course the lag in here, you let go of the jump button just a bit too soon and then cascades out of hand. Just like that key hunter business. If only we could tell him not to worry about the nerves. Peace out, little ones.
Oh, I'm not actually in the race room.
So hey, GG's Vinter, who has the task of more rando up ahead here against current members of chat.
Damn it, you.
So congratulations to Vinter. Eykir will head toward GT. and pack it in probably right about here. One hill's going to look. So GG to Eykir as well. Always a tough opponent. Him and I are in races frequently enough, and they go both ways quite a lot.
And here they come.
We're gonna have a little chat here in just a few minutes. Moment, better word, I think. Welcome on in, GG's to the both of you.
Yo, GG's. Thank you.
Pretty fast seed, but here, how did it feel? Because that's what I'm trying to figure out this whole time. How does it really feel? I guess
I did not feel good.
I did not feel good at all either. I took that death in pod. I'm like, that's not good. I don't think it ended up mattering at the end. The time didn't matter.
I took a death in LN, which really hurt me. But I remember to get the bottle again, which that was probably the crucial part here.
Oh yeah, that was. Where was that? That was on the escape.
The second to last item in LN. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, I picked it up and I'm like, this can't be our first bottle, is it? And it was.
Yeah, I hesitated at first too.
Yeah, we don't have it on here. So Nita called it out. I was like, yeah, that's it. That's that one right there. And of course, I'm like, oh boy, the late bottle, which never leads to anything. And
I didn't expect to lead to anything, so I didn't check it for a while. And that hit me.
I wouldn't blame you, because I mean, we've seen what happens. And it just.
SSC felt pretty good. Lord Warfare was a pain.
Oh yeah.
Those hitboxes on those beams from the guys on the Room of the Rising Lava got me twice.
I felt good about the swords at first.
Yeah, so aim here. You go that number early.
Swords are good.
Yeah.
Well, how many days do you say Speed Booster is locking just Ganon? I mean,
yeah, right. 3 swords behind that.
I enjoyed that one.
Yep, crazy. I was happy to get them early. It's like, okay, well, Zelda's gonna be a breeze now. Where's everything else? I was really late to Moon Pearl though, which I guess was kind of good not having this Moon Pearl until I had all 3 swords.
Yeah, I remember mentioning at the time because Vinter had it early, and it's one of the the castle is just. You do it right away or you don't. And if you don't, it's like, when do you come back? Because there's just always something else to do, right? So that makes sense. It's just...
Yeah, my rock got disrupted because I got 2 20s in back of Sahasrara. I'm like, I get free 10 in Eastern. That gives me bombs to buy, so I don't have to go to the castle right now. And otherwise, if I would have gone to the castle after Eastern had I not gotten money for bombs. Oh well, I don't think that ended up mattering either. I blitzed through Dark World pretty well. Skipped a bunch of stuff. Just bottle.
Well, running to Eastern first, it's another one we said is just, if it's something there and you don't do it, especially in this setup where you're at Saha early, when do you do it? So it's just kind of got.
Yeah, that's Vinter about last game.
Yeah. Last game we had a bow, and the bow was in Eastern.
Ooh.
It was like the 5th check for Eykir or something.
Yeah, Eastern done 5 minutes then. This time, well, it was in Hype Cave, which wasn't too bad. You can get that right away if you get that Moon Pearl with the myths that we had pretty early on Bryn Loot.
Yeah, but I think this time around I took a route I usually never take. I mean, the early Gravity, and then I kind of backdoored Meridia, full cleared that. Before even touching Bryn or Criteria, that was super weird.
Yeah, the sub 20 Dragon on the 1 reserve or whatever you had was like
3 trash tanks before my first D-tank. That was so horrendous. I hate those trash tanks.
they kind of came into play for you here.
Yeah.
I guess just because you had them. You used one on Fantoon there, I think, and then Eykir you had a couple
I
of
needed Lower
instances.
Norfair. Yeah, I had to refill in the lava room, and I just had them as safeties. Use them to stand up.
You know, just
Also, maybe more comfortable doing wreck ship early on 1E tank 2 reserves for absolutely nothing, unlike last seed.
yeah, and yeah, it was we were like, yeah, there's nothing in there, but you got those two E-tanks, which happened to be numbers 2 and 3, and in Vinter's case, it was 1 and 2.
Oh, jeez.
So it's like, well, how bad is that really? I mean,
Yeah.
it's just whatever.
Yeah, what's up with the ammo? I had like 60 supers at the hour mark or R20 mark. It was silly.
E-tanks turned into supers. Somebody was down at Golden Teresa with like 70, and then we still had like 4 dungeons or something to do. Yeah, this was. You never really truly run out of things you've not seen, I guess.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of all the stuff I did before going and turning that bottle. Like I did Hera Basement, an Ether Tablet, I did the X-ray into Waterway.
Which, of course,
Yeah.
you know, we know any one of them could have been it.
Yep, gotta check those.
We had the book in Spike Cave right after you get done hopping down from Ether Tablet. That was a cool one.
I think that was for my trip up. I did the Dark World checks after getting the Moon Pro. I'm like, oh, I need to go back to Dark World. But they probably had this early and did all these first trip. Try to get the items I thought Vinter would have already gotten early, and then late it was what will Vinter not have checked yet, because that Death and Pod kind of tilted me a little bit. That's why I made those weird off checks instead of just going bottle, because bottle escaped my mind at the moment.
Yeah, I figured there was some of that going on. Like, you gotta pull one out here, you know. But
yep. How do you feel about that one, Vinter?
Yeah, so I got the bow really early and the hammer, but I didn't feel too confident doing paw. I don't know if I even had the sword yet. I don't think so.
Probably not at that point.
No, yeah, right. And then my first sword was on precious missiles, right? Because I got the flippers too, and then that was when I took the detour and just went straight to Dragon.
Yeah. You ever
Yeah.
lamp?
No, I don't know where I was.
Oh, I don't either. Okay.
no, I mean, I'm putting it on TR, you know, but
I mean, our last lamp was in, what is it, TR Big Chest? Which was also locked behind the whole seat, basically.
Did everything, and it's like, last dungeon, oh, lamp, of course. Could have been swamp, I guess, because I'm gigantic in swamp. And we neither said we had mirror go mode. It's unfortunate that mirror locks Samaria, so like you had Mire and Swamp and Turtle Rock, they were all just dead to us until we found mirror. Ice Mire wasn't dead, but
so you had fire problems before. You didn't have bombos here. Your fire rod was only for Ganon, I think.
And ice. We need to get into ice.
Yeah, that basic stuff. So it's that's.
Oh yeah,
just put it.
Yeah.
That's actually a good point, because I was also thinking maybe we also only get the lamp as our fire source for Ganon. So I was actually avoiding the darkroom checks as much as possible. But yeah, wherever that lamp was, I don't know. That's actually a good point.
Yeah, also that screw attack taunting us behind the mirror, that was our go mode. Like, yeah, you're not getting that.
But, I mean, with all this stuff, sub 230. I mean, Eykir, you had your mother brain done, so it was just Ganon for you. I mean, these are good times for handling all this. So.
Yep, that was a good seed. GG's Vinter. Good luck in your next match. Let's game at you.
Yeah, those were some great matches we had, I think, so I hope the viewers enjoyed that one. And yeah, I'm gonna need all the luck I can get against Gamma.
Yep.
For sure.
So we took the series to 3. So, yep, good luck. And thanks, Nito and Scupula for coming, and Just for tracking. Appreciate you putting this on.
Yep. And for racing, very good match. It's always fun to do. So yeah, it looks like that's gonna. Well, we got a bunch of stuff scheduled already.
Yeah.
Yeah, so nobody's messing. So tomorrow already, we'll see if we can get it on. I don't know where I'm going to be myself, but 2 o'clock, same as this. So wherever that puts you, same time as this one, and 7 hours after that one, we'll have Tony T. Young and Flip Fuel. I know I'm going to do this wrong. Ramond and MM2 will be the first one. So maybe I got it right. I don't know. Anyway, that's what's going on. That's what the first bunch of matches are scheduled. It will fill up with more. So whatever we get on here, stay tuned. And then
We'll see you next mission.
we will. Thanks, Nito. Thanks, Gesture. Here's a link for